Channels.
Yep.
And so Australian Idol was the biggest thing in Australia. It was huge. And so I was just like, I was kind of holding back, and obviously it was with the group, so I didn't want to pull away into my own thing sort of thing. And so eventually got to the end of that journey with the boy band and auditioned for it. And again, a little bit like that journey to try and get to that record deal.
Yep.
Every time I got through like a stage, it was just like the biggest addiction, the biggest rush in the world, you know?
Yep.
To go from like initial audition up in Albury, Wodonga, and then coming down to going to Sydney, top 100, top 40, top 20, and then to the live finals.
So you got to the finals?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I say I came equal 13th.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere between 13 and 24. That was kind of like
man, that's like no mean feat. Like that's out of thousands of people. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, it was good. It was good. Yeah. And again, looking back and we're talking about the journey. Like, I had so much fun. Like, I was in Sydney for almost 4 weeks.
Yep.
Excuse me. And all these guys with the top 24 contestants, and they're all awesome musicians. I hang out with like Jessica Malboy and all the guys, even from top number 1 to 24, they were all incredible musicians. It was really quite an amazing year.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with all these really cool people and just, we're jamming every day. And
yeah, it's awesome.
There's a lady called Lavina Williams, and she's just got a voice like Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
So I was doing trios with her and Jessica Malboy.
Amazing.
Just incredible. Like, time of my life, And
what if you don't mind me asking, what were the nerves like going on national TV? Like
nuts.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one thing to like get up at a gig, you know what I mean, knowing that you know what I mean, it's not getting recorded that pressure.
Well, man, I had a little bit more going on behind the scenes as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So this all kind of links up.
Yeah.
So that album I talked about before, the Crab album.
Yeah.
So we had like a handshake agreement with these producers, right? It was just nothing was in writing. We did the album. It was done 3 or 4 years before I went onto Idol.
Yep.
Anyway, so I was getting a stack of airtime on Idol. Like, I was getting as much airtime as what Jessica Malboy and Dean Gore and a few other guys were getting.
Yep.
And the producer even said, look, we want you to sort of go a long way.
Yep.
Just pick the right songs, keep your head up, just do the right things. And so I was pretty excited. I felt like I kind of backing from the producers.
Sorry, just back up a bit there. So is that how it works? Like, they choose behind the scenes who they want to back, like, as the producers?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man.
Right.
So so again, knowing what I know now, I've got a few friends who've gone through even X Factor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the record companies will actually bring guys in that they've known but kept their eyes on for a long time.
Really?
This is probably trademark secrets, but this is kind of...
We're going to get in trouble
probably,
for this.
Well,
I love it.
What it is. Anyways, I won't mention names. And so there's a few guys that they choose behind the scenes, and they just kind of go through and do the right things, and as long as they don't muck up and be stupid, they'll go all the way through.
Really? So they get told early in the piece you're one of the...
Well, they get selected from before the show starts.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys that they actually find on the street who are actually amazing and incredible talent.
Yeah.
And so, not saying I was amazing incredible talent, but I was one of those guys that kind of just went and auditioned, and they discovered me, and I kind of went all the way through as far as I could go.
Yep.
Anyway, so I was getting all this airtime, and basically about a week before the live finals, so, biggest night of my life coming up, and I was starting to stress and trying to choose the right songs and all that sort of stuff and stay fit and healthy. And I was living in a hotel room in Sydney, and had to eat out every day, and didn't have even ability to keep myself food and that sort of thing. So I was eating
pressure.
So anyway, so these guys who produced this record from 3 or 4 years ago with the boy band said to Fremantle Media, who owns Australian Idol, they said, you've got our artist. He has to come off the show.
What?
Yeah. So they, so basically what they did is they just made things really difficult and awkward. So my manager Ella got involved again. And we'd shaken hands and walked away from the boy band. It was all in the past, right?
Yeah.
So she got back involved and was helping me out because she's a good friend.
Yeah.
And these guys were just being absolute, insert whatever word you wanted there.
Did you sign anything with them?
No.
So how do they?
They tried to show evidence that they were that I was their artist, that sort of thing. It was all, by and by, it was all really messy. And basically I had the lawyers back and forth to me every day, all leading up to this one night at the final.
Yeah.
And so I got to the very last night before the final, about to go on stage and stuff. And the lawyers called me up and said, look, Paul, you're going to go on the show tomorrow. Just do your best, and all the best. It's all sorted, sort of thing. So that's the last word from the lawyers.
Yeah. Can I just ask, how? So you never signed anything with these guys? They're just producers.
They were doing things like showing all the emails back and forth. They were just trying to show all the different things, even though there wasn't a literal like a signature from me or anything like that. They tried to show that, well, this is the stuff that we had an agreement, yada yada, and so.
And they wanted you off the show.
Off the show, just
why?
Pure vindication.
Wow.
Pure vindication.
Wow.
I have no idea. Just they were just real. Yeah, there's some human beings in this world that just want to bring you down. Yeah. There's a few getting around. Yeah, couldn't believe it. And I was stressed out enough as it was just about the performance.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sleepless nights, that sort of thing, and then on the day, like some really weird stuff happened. I won't go into like I sound like I'm whinging or whatever, but
no, man,
some strange stuff happened on the day.
Come on, into it. I want to hear about it.
Well, okay. Well, I had to. I had this really cool outfit picked out. It was fit me perfectly. I'm a pretty chunky kind of guy, so you need to have the right clothes. And all of a sudden, they want to change my outfit, and it didn't fit me properly. And I was busting out. I was like, "What's going on here?" And
the producers from.
I don't know what was going on, but I had to change my clothes all of a sudden, half an hour before I got on stage. Like, all these clothes I've never seen before that didn't fit me properly.
Yeah.
My earpiece, I don't ever use in-ear monitors, but I had to obviously for the show.
Yeah.
And it was just blasting, and I couldn't hear anything, couldn't hear the band.
Yeah.
And then like up until that day, like all the judges had supported me. They've been really nice to me, really got behind me, even off stage. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Cole Sandlands was the most awesome guy off stage.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, really cool guy. And he was an incredible supporter of me during the show. And then like Mark Holders badgered me, said I sang out of tune. I just shouldn't be on the show. What are you doing here? Go home, sort of thing. And Cole just didn't say anything. He just kind of shut his mouth up and didn't say anything. And Marshall was kind of the same. Yeah, it was all about Mark Holden just completely just knocking me off my pedal, and I was destroyed.
And do you reckon that's got something to do with?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's my thoughts. And again, I sound like a cynical old bloke.
No. Look, I think
it was just super weird. Everything just changed. I went from being, because I was who I am, a really happy, easygoing guy. I was, kind of brought the whole top 24 guys together. We all organised dinners. I was just got along with everyone really well. Yeah. But then it got to that last point, and then all of a sudden everything just changed. It was like I was just the black sheep in the group.
So that they had, like we said before, they had their front runners already picked before.
Well, I just, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I just think that in my heart of hearts that they kind of said, look, let him be on the show, because otherwise that was going to cause controversy. Why did Paul go off the show? Yada yada. Yeah. They probably just thought, let him sing his song, and then just get him off.
Wow.
So I didn't go through to the next stage. Wildcard round I wasn't even talked about. It was just like, see ya. Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah. So anyway, that was my little experience. But in saying that, apart from that, like, it was just awesome fun. Yeah. It was great. The journey was cool. Like, I was on the front page of my local hometown Bendigo. I had my old school, like, all these kids and my principal, my teacher, it was just crazy, man. So
all the kids that hated you, all of a sudden they're your best mate. Always loved that Paul. He was there.
Not saying I was famous anyway, but I had my little 5 minutes of fame, shall we say. Yeah. And it was amazing how many texts I got from people I hadn't heard from in 10, 15 years, and people I'd never heard from before. And
could you imagine how many texts you'd get if you won Lotto? It's funny.
Or if you went to number one, or if if you become a superstar overnight, sort of stuff, like all these reality show type people. So so it was super fascinating just going through that experience of just having a little taste of it. Yeah. And it was super weird as well.
Yeah. Man, that's just fascinating, because you often suspect it, you often suspect that it's all sort of planned behind the scenes, and I remember watching The Voice a couple of years ago with my missus, and I'm like just almost yelling at the TV, how the fuck does she? You know what I mean? He's way better than, you know what I mean? It's like,
totally.
It's
and like when the performance doesn't marry up with what they're saying, that's when you just go, what is going on?
It's all just, it's all contrived.
And some of the amazing performances, like, oh, it was okay. Like, what?
It's actually if you think about it, like, it's a brilliant way to, like, take an artist or a couple of artists that you know what I mean, and just run them through this process, get them signed up, get them locked in through the process, and
And so, in amongst that, it was generally all about the story. Like, when I'm not sure if did you ever audition for a reality show?
Nah. Yeah, not. I don't know if I could do it, mate.
It's pretty hard.
When it comes to dancing, I'm out. Like, even I've always struggled, man. Like, I can sing and play, but even just moving on stage, I'm just not a dancer. I don't have any. I'm a white boy, mate.
Me too, mate. Me too. What I mean? Two left feet. I'm a bopper. But even like on the audition sheet, they want us to know what's the most horrible thing that's happened to you. And it's all about the story. So anyway, so look, interesting time in my life, and I look back. And I'm very philosophical in life, and about things happen in my life. And I believe there's a higher power.
Yeah, awesome, mate.
Kind of determines your path in life.
Yep.
And I feel that if I had gone further in that thing, I would have gone up higher in my own head, like ego sort of stuff.
100%.
Because I crashed out after going home. I went back to the job that I kind of didn't really like at the time. Kind of spend all my money, trying to support myself while I was up in Sydney, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And so I came back. I went through probably 6 months of depression, just trying to get over it.
Really?
So imagine for someone who, like, I had amazing family support, friends, all sort of stuff. So if somebody who didn't have that, or went higher up the chain, or had a number one hit and then they just crashed out, I can just imagine the hole it leaves in your life, that void.
It's a blow to the identity, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get so invested, your identity gets so invested in who you are in the world.
Yeah, because I had this vision, even I thought if I could make top 7 or top 8, that generally they generally get either a record deal of some kind, or they get a TV opportunity, that sort of stuff, or you get, you can go and do a year of touring around and doing live shows and stuff.
Yeah, you got the name. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
So instead of, like, say I might have lost 10 grand by going through the process, just by supporting myself by being away and doing all the driving and leaving work and stuff. Someone that goes through that next stage might make 100 grand or 200 grand in that first year. So you kind of hedge all your bets on making it through, and then when you don't, you have this huge crash. So and there would have been, I think, apart from, say, like Guy Sebastian, Jessica Malboy, maybe one or two others.
Nolsey.
I mean, he's turning around. He's doing well for himself. He's got a good name out there. And but apart from that, there's not too many. There's a few guys that got on TV and stuff like that. But you think there's probably, 500 people have auditioned and got through, say, the live finals and stuff, whatever it might be, with X Factor or Idol or the other one, The Voice. All with expectations. They would have all crashed and burned, just like I did, in a small way. So there's all these,
it's tough, man.
There's all these artists out there, unless you've got good grounding or you've got good perspective, they're going to go through some pretty tough times, because they would have thought, what if I had sung this song? What if I had done that better? Or charmed that producer? Or, and you have all these questions in your head going.
Little did they know it was rigged from the moment they it's sad,
It's a lot like you can never win, So,
they've already got their horses picked, Except
that might be the odd one that comes through from out of nowhere. But generally speaking, and what I know, especially with the X Factor and the Voice. We're